Hi. Tonight I am in a really great mood because I just am. And I want to talk about intuition, your intuition, and how, I guess, important it is, and what law of attraction has to do with it. So think about it. Would you say that you are an intuitive person? Would you say you are somebody who listens to your intuition? What is that experience like for you? If you do listen, because a lot of people, they don't. They've been trained out of it by others, so now they don't know how to listen to their intuition. And I guess the most useful thing for me to do is maybe just share my experience of my own intuition. Because I try to follow mine to the best of my ability, basically at all times. I try not to argue with it too much. And it's an interesting experience. So my intuition and how it feels to me, like what the experience is like, I'm just gonna share some instances with you so you could get, I guess, like a picture of what it's like for me. And this is just one possible way of experiencing it. You might experience it completely differently from me. Something that I experience a lot when it comes to my intuition is that it comes to me as like thoughts in my own head. And like, for example, it can be sort of like instructions on what to do in a situation. Like, for example, a little while ago, I had this situation that I was in, and it was kind of I don't know how to put it. I was just sort of unsure in that situation as to what to do or when to do what. But I was trusting my intuition, that my intuition would tell me while I'm in the situation what to do. So I did my best to just try and follow what my intuition was telling me, what these thoughts in my head were telling me. And when I say thoughts in my head, it's not like there's this voice in my head like telling me things. It feels like my own thoughts. But it'll come to me in the moment that it's supposed to. When it came to like leaving the situation especially, I wasn't sure when was the right time to do that. And there was nothing in that situation to like indicate to me that now is the right time to leave. And I felt as though like if I got it wrong, if I left at the wrong time, there would be like possibly like bad consequences to that, or like something would happen that would like mess the situation up or something like that. So I wasn't sure when to leave. But I was still trying to listen to the best of my ability, my intuition. And then I would receive a thought in the middle of that situation at some point that just was very clearly like I heard in my head. It felt like my own thought in my own head that was just like, the time to leave is soon. So like, not right now, but it's soon. And I remember I kept on looking at the clock and being like, okay, when should I go? How will I know when I should go? Then I think it was like 5 minutes or something like that. And then I got another very clear thought. Felt the same way as this one, the other one did. And this thought was just like, you can leave now. Like just like that. You can leave now. Like that's what I heard in my head. You can leave now. And so I didn't question it. I just followed it. And I got out of the situation no problem. Like nobody stopped me, nothing happened, nothing and nobody got in my way, basically. And nothing bad happened. So this is one instance, and this is something that I have quite often, like in everyday situations. I will just like hear stuff like that, like it's just time to do whatever now, or if I'm like wondering, should I go, should I stay, when should I do that, I will just like hear it in my head. It'll be just like, it's time to go now, or go now, or just now, or something like that. And usually when I follow it and I don't question it, it turns out great for me. With my friends, it's very interesting. I was just talking to one of them earlier, and I was saying that it's like we have a psychic link. I feel like I have a psychic link with all of my friends, because it'll be very often this situation of like, one of us will be like thinking of the other, and then the other will contact them. And then we'll be like, oh, I was just thinking about you. This is very often occurrence, happens a lot. It's interesting to think about it from the perspective of, like, what does this feel like to me? Like, if somebody is thinking about me, it's not like I received that in my head like that. I don't receive, so-and-so is thinking about you right now, so you should probably contact them. Not like that. To me, I just feel like I want to contact my friend because I'm just like asking about their day, or just asking about something that I know is going on with them, but I don't really get any kind of feeling that they are thinking about me. I just find out later, after I have contacted them, that they were thinking about me. There's a lot of other instances too. Like, here's another one with a friend. We were celebrating their dog's birthday. And so as I was going to this dog's birthday, I wanted to like bring something with me. I wanted to bring like something sweet with me that we could have at this birthday with my friend. And but I didn't know what to bring. And then it doesn't really matter either way, because like neither of us is like, you need to bring something. Just, it's kind of like, just bring yourself and that's fine. That's plenty. Don't need anything else. But I wanted to bring something anyway. So I was just like rummaging around in my cupboards trying to find something, because I kind of like, I have like a stash of sweet things in my cupboard at like all times, and I was like trying to find something from there. And I like picked one like box of chocolates, and then I checked it, and it was like half empty. So I was like, that's not appropriate to bring. And so then I was looking at what I have left to choose from, and I had like a bunch of different chocolates. And I don't know, I just ended up picking one of them, and then I didn't really think anything more of it, other than I thought, this is a chocolate that I've never really had before. It's a flavor I've never really had before. I don't even know how, like, where I got that from. Anyway, but I had that, and it had been like kind of sitting there. And so I thought, I guess I'm just gonna take this one. We can try a new flavor together. That's gonna be fun. So I took this one, and then I went to the birthday. And then it's so funny, like, I take out this chocolate and I start explaining about this like new flavor that we probably have not had before, like neither of us, and how we could just try that, and that'll be fun. And then at some point my friend is like, it's so funny. for me to think back now. It just was a very relaxed reaction, but they were just like, yeah, that's actually my favorite chocolate. And I was like, really? This exact one with this exact flavor is your favorite? Because I didn't know, like, we had not talked about something like that, their favorite chocolate. And I'm like, this is the one that's your favorite? They're like, yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah, this exact one, this exact flavor, this exact brand, everything. This is my favorite. And it was so funny. But then the next second, I was just like, why am I surprised by this? Stuff like this happens with us all the time. Really, it does. And that's my favorite chocolate. But it's not like I knew this or I got this like download or information from somewhere. I just felt like picking this one out of the ones that I had. I could have picked anything, right? Because I had more stuff there that I could have picked, but I picked this one. Very interesting, if you ask me. Well, just now I had another instance with a different friend, because we did this fun thing where because this friend is like a distance away from me. They're like really far away. And so, the holidays are coming up. And so we thought it would be a fun thing to do to send, holiday cards to each other, because like nobody does that anymore. And so we were just kind of like, let's bring this tradition back, because why not? It would be fun to see if they can even like receive that. So I sent them cards. And again, like I remember going to buy these cards because I sent them two cards. And these were I just went to the store, two different stores actually. And these were the ones that just stood out to me for some reason. I was like, these are so, they are so pretty and they are so serene. And they just reminded me of my friend and their family for some reason. And so I picked these out. Well, they got them today. And they're probably watching this video. And I already told you I'm going to talk about intuition. So I want to share this with people because I think it's just really amazing, like you would say. So they got them today, and then they also like really liked the cards, but like one of the cards had like these air balloons on them. And so they just then shared a story with me that was of significance to them about these air balloons. Like it was a very significant thing for them. And, I think that for them it was just crazy to see these air balloons on that card when they have such a significant story involving air balloons. That's like important to them. But I didn't know anything about that story until just like 1 hour ago. And again, I was just like, where am I getting this stuff from? Like how, like there's no way I could have known this, but how did I pick out this card of all the cards that were there that I could have picked from? I picked the one that is like of the most significance to this friend. And I picked it because my intuition told me that's the one. And it wasn't like that's the one because it's gonna be significant. And no, I just felt like picking this one. Yeah, and I had my own reasons for it. Like I was just like, it reminds me of them and their family for this and this reason. But I was just like, this is the one. And then I find out that there's this cool story associated with it. Stuff like that happens a lot. And then you won't know until later when somebody tells you that actually this means so much to me, or this was just the right thing I needed to see, or this was just the right thing I needed to hear right now. It's just so crazy to me. I also feel like I get a lot of messages through just like random songs that I might be hearing when I'm just like out and about. And I also get messages from just like advertising, like banners and stuff all around the world. If you pay attention to that stuff, maybe you get messages through that as well, because, there's a lot of advertising going around. And I know that's not really a great thing, but in this case, yeah, you can get messages that are like significant to you through that. But with something like songs, for example, I just had another instance of this today. And I'm not really sure if this is anything, because sometimes it can be difficult with your intuition to like know for sure if something is something, means something, or it doesn't. Because sometimes you just find out later, and sometimes it doesn't mean anything. But anyway, I was at the grocery store earlier today, and you know how you're like normally at the grocery store and they always play some kind of music, some kind of song, some kind of something in the background. At least they do here. And normally you're not really listening to that stuff. You're just thinking about what you need to get from here, and it's kind of background noise. However, I would say if a song, whether that's in a store or on a radio or wherever, gets your attention, like for some reason you suddenly start paying attention to it and actually listening to it, there might be something there for you, possibly. Because I think there's clearly a reason that you would be picking this up in this moment, especially if normally you aren't listening. So it was so funny. I was just at the store and the song is playing, and suddenly I'm like paying attention to it. And it was a song that I'd never heard before ever in my life. And so I was just listening to the lyrics of it. And I don't know, it just makes me laugh because I normally wouldn't even mention this, but I have just been having these kinds of messages, I guess, for a while now. I've been hearing sort of the same thing, and I don't know if it's anything. But anyway, the lyrics were just like, I'm looking for a way to reach you. Why are you so hard to reach? I reach out my hand, can you hear me? These were the lyrics of this song. It was just some kind of Estonian song, so you can't look that up in English. But that was hilarious to me because I have been hearing these same kinds of things for a while now. And also, my right palm has been itching a lot. And in my country, if your right palm is itching, it means somebody is coming. Some person or people are coming. That's what it means. At least that's the belief in my country. And if it's your left palm, it means money is coming. And so I've been having like crazy itching of my right palm as well. And it's not because my palms are dry, I can assure you. I use so much hand cream, but still happens. And then I'll just see or hear messages like that. Almost like somebody wants to talk to me or something. And I don't know if that's anything. I don't know if that means something, anything. But with the frequency that I've been hearing this stuff, let's just pretend for a second that it does mean something, in which case it just makes me laugh, especially these words. Like, let it just be clear. If, like, anyone recognizes themselves in these words, I am not hard to reach. You're just overthinking this thing if you're thinking that. There's so many ways to reach me. There is, the comment section under this video or any of my videos. If you don't like that, I have Twitter. You could DM me. I don't really do anything on Twitter, that's true. I have reblogged some or retweeted some things in the past, but I just have that account because sometimes there are casting calls, like voiceover casting calls on Twitter. So that's why I have that. If you really wanted to, you could DM me on there. There is LinkedIn. I'm really easy to find. I have my own website. I'm really easy to contact. There's even Facebook if you're feeling brave enough, but I wouldn't recommend that one because normally if I don't know a person, I'm not really gonna respond. Usually. But anyway, there's so many ways to reach me. What do you mean? You're so hard to reach. I'm looking for a way to reach you. So I'm just saying, I've been hearing these things, like these kinds of messages a lot. So if there is something to it, you want to reach me? I just gave you so many options. It's not that hard. You're overthinking this thing, and so just don't. Which is easier said than done, I know. And also, I'm not that scary. Okay? I am not that scary. I know I say I'm a vampire a lot, but I'm not gonna bite you. Or am I? Well, no, I'm not gonna bite you. Look, there are ways. So just pick one. Just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It doesn't really matter which way I go. Because it doesn't really matter which way you go here. I'm just saying that in case that actually turns out to be something, these messages, because I've been hearing them a lot, and this palm itching is kind of driving me crazy. So that's one thing. And also, talking about palm itching, your left palm, as I said, means that money is coming, at least in my country. And so my left palm has been itching a lot too. And so by now I know if my left palm is itching a lot, money is coming from somewhere. And this has been going on for a while. And it's only been today that several different people reached out to me about some voiceover work, which is amazing. And I am so thankful. And I'm also really happy that my palm was right. Once again, here's the money coming from my work. Those are some of the examples of my intuition. But this is kind of my theory when it comes to the law of attraction. What does this mean? Where is this stuff coming from? How am I picking this stuff up? Especially if it actually turns out to be something important. Where am I getting this stuff from? And you know what I think? I think that this is just coming from your higher self, your inner being. Because your higher self, your inner being, is aware of everything and everyone around you at all times. Around you and elsewhere too. It's kind of like all of our higher selves are connected with each other, to each other. And so your higher self knows everything, basically. It has like a bird's eye view of everything coming up for you and everything that could concern you in any kind of way. And it knows the higher selves of your like friends and whoever else is significant to you, the higher selves of these people too, and is like communicating with them. At least that is my current understanding. And so I think, like, especially in the cases of my friends here, it's just that our higher selves are communicating. So my friends, like, especially in this cards story, for example, my friend's higher self knows that this air balloon story is important to them. And my higher self knows their higher self. So I think that my higher self just got the information from their higher self. And then because I was open emotionally, when I went to pick up these cards, I was in a good mood. And I was trusting that I would find the right cards. And I did. So I was open. Vibrationally, energetically, I was open. And so then I was open to receiving this information that my higher self already knew. And the human me, translated that as, I feel like picking this card and this card. It didn't come to me as, I should pick this because it's gonna be significant, or because my friend has this story with the air balloons. It didn't come to me like that. I just felt like picking these ones. And very often I feel like your higher self is communicating with you in that kind of way. You will just feel like doing something, and you won't know why. You might know later. Very often these things turn out to like later tell me like why did I pick that, or why did I do that? And so that's basically it. And I'm about to end this video here, but I was just reminded of another story like that. And this happened in voiceover. That was a while ago now. But anyway, I was just having some kind of issue in voiceover. Like, I was trying to figure out, like, I got an opportunity, but I wasn't sure if it might maybe be a scam, because there's a lot of those going on in the voiceover business as well. A lot of those going around. And this opportunity was kind of like new to me in a way, where I just wasn't sure. And so I felt like I just need to ask. I need to ask another voice actor about this. But then I was like, but who do I ask? I didn't really have very many contacts, but I was aware of some other voice actors that I could potentially ask. And so then it was just about deciding which one of them it was going to be. And for a while I was just thinking like, well, who is it going to be? Who am I going to ask? And then suddenly I thought of a specific person, a specific voice actor. And I was like, it's got to be him. That was just the thought in my head. It's got to be him. It's going to be him. It's gotta be, and it's gonna be him. And then I searched for a way to get in contact with him, and I almost gave up because I couldn't really find a way initially, but eventually I did. And then so I write this voice actor, like very politely, and I like explain the situation and everything, and I ask for his help. And I can't make this up. Like, this guy writes back to me and he's like, it's so funny that you wrote to me about that, because just 2 weeks ago, I was talking about voiceover scams on my podcast. And then I put 2 and 2 together. It was like, see, that's why it was this person that I should reach out to. And I knew that it had to be this person. Like I knew that very clearly, but I didn't know why. I had no idea why. Why him? I didn't know. But I just followed my intuition, which was telling me it's him. Contact him about this. And then he writes back, I was just talking about this very issue on my podcast. See? Everybody is connected. Even if you don't know that person, everyone is connected. So always, if you feel like doing something, you really feel like your intuition is telling you to do something or talk to someone, contact someone, follow through. Because it might be something like this. There's a reason that you feel this way. I feel like a lot of people want to second guess these things, but I feel like you really shouldn't. You really should try to practice more listening to your intuition because, again, your higher self knows everything about everybody and everything. And it knows where everything you want is, okay? And it knows where you are in relationship to it. And it knows the best way to get you to that thing that you want. And this is why it's sending you these impulses. Go there, talk to this person, tell this person this exact thing. These things are coming because your higher self knows the path to get you to where you want to go, where you want to be. So it's sending you those impulses. So it's a very good idea to try and practice listening to that, in my opinion. And I hope that maybe hearing somebody talk about this has gotten you to think about your intuition and what your intuition might be telling you about people, places, situations, whatever. Because it's telling you that for a reason. And honestly, this is really it. And to anyone who wants to reach out to me, you don't need to itch my palm about it. Just, like I say, listen to your intuition. Just do it, okay? Nothing bad's gonna happen, I promise. But I hope that you are now more likely to maybe listen to your intuition. And I hope that this has been helpful and interesting to you. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.